Something we have not had a chance to miss out lately is on thunderstorms and those pellets of frozen rain that may come along with it. On tonight's episode of Weatherwise, our meteorologist Dylan Hudler talks to us about the interesting yet dangerous element of hail.
All right, welcome back to Weatherwise here. I'm your host, meteorologist Dylan Hudler. Today we're going to be something that we've had to deal with recently, but isn't all that common around here in Mississippi and Alabama. Hail. Gosh, this summer's been weird, hasn't it? We've had these summer storms on steroids, just different complexes and rounds of storms rolling through, dropping abnormally large hail in our region, something we haven't seen in a long time. So I'm here to explain how hail forms and how the heck it can get that big and then fall down. It doesn't seem possible, but Mother Nature is impressive, and it sure is. So there's two parts to a thunderstorm. Obviously, you need an updraft and a downdraft. The updraft here, represented by this red arrow, is what brings warm, humid air into the storm. It's what the storm's sucking up. And that cool blue arrow is the downdraft. That's like the thunderstorm exhaust. So the storm goes through a cycle. It sucks up warm and humid air into the storm and then drops down cool and dry air out of it as like an engine, like a cycle. So that's what you can think of a thunderstorm as. Well, as it sucks all this warm, humid air up, these cloud droplets go higher than a level known as the freezing level. So obviously in the atmosphere, this is getting a little bit technical, but the higher up you get, the colder the temperatures are, and eventually you reach a level where it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, we know 32 degrees Fahrenheit is the level at which water freezes. So those water droplets freeze and start to become hailstones, small little pellets of ice. Once they become hailstones or little pellets of ice, they're carried up and down in that updraft, in the red arrow of that thunderstorm, and the hailstones grow and get bigger the longer they're suspended up there in the storm. Other super-cooled water droplets interact with those stones and they accumulate. It gets bigger and bigger, kind of like a snowball. If you were to roll a ball of snow down a hill, it would get bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here in the same sense. Now that updraft, the rising motion, is what keeps the hailstones suspended in the storm. But once that updraft weakens or the hailstones get big enough, they're too heavy, the updraft can't support them anymore, and so they're forced downward, and they fall here. You can see them all laying on the ground. So when hailstones get really big, they usually fall from the storm, or when the storm begins to weaken, the updraft kind of collapses, and all the hail, like a bucket, just dumps on the ground. And that's something we saw early in June here locally in northern Mississippi. There's a lot of different hail sizes. Obviously, it can range from very small to pea-size hail that has a 1/4 inch diameter, all the way dime and penny and nickel. These three right here is what we see most of in Mississippi and Alabama. Usually we don't have a lot of cold air aloft just because we're so humid and so close to the Gulf of Mexico. But once you start dealing with 1/4 inch hail, 1/4 inch hail, there we go, that's what I should have said, inch in diameter, that's when the hail is considered severe. A severe thunderstorm may produce 1/4 size hail. And then we go all the way to ping pong ball, golf ball, tennis ball, baseball, and softball size hail, which is 4 inches in diameter. 4 inches in diameter, softball size hail is the biggest one we have on the scale right here. Check this out. This is from Caledonia in Lowndes County on June 16th. This is nearly, God, if you look at the ruler, what is that? Almost 5 inch in diameter hailstone. So this is like grapefruit size, even bigger than softball size. You see all the little appendages. It looks like a rock, like an ice crystal, an ice ball that's fallen from the sky. This was taken by our friend Nikki Higginbotham, who sent this in. Thank you so much. The record size hailstone for the state of Mississippi is 4 inches in diameter, not 4 inches, excuse me, 5 inches in diameter, and it was set back in 1962. So to say the least, this isn't an official measurement, but some of the hail we saw earlier in June was some of the biggest Mississippi has seen since 1962. Hope that helped you out, and now you can see whenever we get a severe storm and you see hail, now you know how it works and how the thunderstorm makes it. It's a really nice or really neat and interesting process. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to email us with our WCBI, weather@wcbi.com. Reach out to me on Facebook or Twitter or even on Instagram, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Weatherwise is brought to you by 4 County Electric Power Association.